So let's look at this situation here. So at the center of this reading here is the Six of Wands crossed by the Ace of Cups. These are very, very good cards. Six of Wands does indicate success, and it's indicating, that renewed sense of positivity, and it's getting the accolades and the reception that you want. But in this context, when it's crossed by the Ace of Cups, there's a new love situation coming through for you, something that is very emotionally nurturing, something very emotionally fulfilling. As a result of it, you're feeling quite good about yourself. So I do feel this success is on the love front, but it can also be, just feeling good about your accomplishments on the workplace. And because of it, it elevates your sense of self-esteem. And in the process, you're able to attract people that are really good for you, that are really nurturing, supportive, and you're starting to feel that rejuvenation in your life, okay? So especially like September, a lot of you have been feeling kind of a little bit down in the dumps, a little bit like ignored and neglected, okay? And I apologize for that. But I do sense that this is a new phase in your life. Saturn is now, I believe it is now back in Sagittarius. So Saturn is a hard, taskmaster. But whatever you worked really hard for, whatever positive changes you made in your life, you're starting to see them pay off, I feel. You're starting to see that a lot of the times too, with the Saturn transit, old relationships, toxic people, relationships that have been like on and off, or even friendships that have been, very one-sided, are scrapped out of our lives, because Saturn forces us to grow up, and it forces us to re-examine things that no longer work, so that we can cut them away and free up the space for the right people to come in that will actually be good for you, that will be, like your comrade in the next phase in your life. So think of it as like a cleansing process, clearing away old baggage so that you can emerge anew, travel light, and also bring new energies, people who are on the same life path as you, okay? In the past position, we have the Fool here, and once again, this is an energy where it's like scrapping away the old, getting rid of baggage, getting rid of dead weight so that you can travel light and begin a new phase in your life. A lot of you have had to do this for the past 3 months. It was a painful process, and I do feel that at the time, it felt painful, it felt difficult, because deep down, you want that sense of rootedness. But at this point in your life, when October 15th rolls around, you're starting to realize that you're on a really good trajectory right now. So you're starting to feel very optimistic, you're feeling hopeful about the future, and traveling light gives you a really great sense of freedom. Sagittarius loves freedom, and I feel like Sagittarius, Aquarius are two of the most commitment phobe signs in the zodiac. But I do feel that if it's a social cause or something like that that you're fighting for, you have no trouble committing. And when you commit, you expect the other person to hold up their end of the bargain. So you don't commit lightly, but when you commit, you expect the other person to be with you on equal footing. So relationships that have been very one-sided needed to be left behind, and you're coming to this with a new sense of knowledge that yes, they might be good people, but they're not meant to be in your life for an extended period of time. So now you're on a new chapter, you're traveling light, and you're going to embark on a new phase in your life with new people. Once again, with Saturn transits, it brings about new karmic relationships, okay? So I do feel there is a little bit of that coming through for this month. And what's happening here is, what's crowning you is the Eight of Coins. You're at a point where you feel like you don't have to be alone anymore. The Eight of Coins is a good card. It's working diligently. It's building something up, and it's also like working diligently to maintain something. In the reverse position, it means that you're putting in a lot of the work. The other person is not really reciprocating. So the journey the whole time felt very lonely. It felt very one-sided. It felt very lopsided. And because you are now aware of this, you're not going to put in the effort if no one is reciprocating. You're going to live your life for you, and you're hoping that will send a statement to whoever it is that you're on a new phase. You're on a new trajectory at this point, okay? In terms of what's in your environment you're not aware of here, we do have the King of Swords. This is in the upright position, so a lot of you might have a new love situation coming through. There are 2 signs here, so I'm sensing this is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. There's also a fire sign in your midst, possibly like a Leo, but fire signs are, it's a Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So a fellow fire sign or an air sign, possibly both of them coming through, and you're being sought after. I would say the air sign looks a little bit more stable. Okay, this is a king energy versus a knight energy. The knight is somebody who's very spirited, but they can come in and out of your life. So they might be a transient type of relationship if you're not looking for long-term commitment. The air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, looks very promising in terms of long-term prospects, okay? When it's a king energy, they are very deliberate in their actions. It doesn't have to be a male, but they are very deliberate. They're sincere with their words. They're also like emotionally very grounded, okay? Either way, you can't really go wrong because both of these are in the upright position and they're coming in, and you have the Ace of Cups here. So it's up to you what you want to do. I do feel a lot of you are getting cold feet when it comes to committing yourself in new relationships. This early on in the game, you started a new phase in your life and you're really happy and you're feeling very positive about the way things are going. So you're just thinking to yourself, maybe I want to take some time to be alone. And then, love happens when you least expect it. So new potential prospects are coming through. These people are very adamant. I do feel they're adamant about wanting to spend time with you. So if you have the time to spare, it looks very fruitful to me. In terms of your advice here, we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups indicates a proposal for friendship, for love, for something that is very real and sincere. In the upright position, it does indicate that these two are well-intentioned. Okay, so it looks very, very good for you. You can't really go wrong. As the advice, I do feel that you have to open yourself up and try to relate to another person on an emotional level, because what I'm getting here is hesitation about bearing your heart too fast and getting hurt in the process. So I definitely feel hesitation coming through from your end. I definitely feel there's a very strong physical connection, intellectual rapport, but in terms of emotional rapport, it might be a little bit lacking, so you might want to reconsider if you want to emotionally invest, or how you can open yourself up emotionally to let the other people in, okay? In terms of your external environment, we have the Five of Cups here, so this indicates like regrets, crying over spilled milk, and it's a situation in your life where you might have had to leave people behind, mainly because there was deception. It could be a situation that you invested heavily in, but the other person was not doing their fair share to maintain the relationship, the friendship. It could even be a family situation, okay? It could also be, if you are transitioning from like an air sign to a fire sign, or a fire sign to an air sign, you're realizing that one relationship had to end in order for another one to begin. And in the process, you're still mourning over what could have been, but you're proceeding with new love. Because if you look at this, I definitely feel new love with Ace of Cups and now the Five of Cups. All of these are wilted, but there are these two cups with the two hearts on them, which indicates to me a new beginning in a love partnership. So it's you and another person, and it looks very promising, but you're still kind of thinking back at the past, and it's not that you're pining for the past, but I do feel that there's still some hesitation here, and that's totally fine. One relationship should not start on the heels of another. There needs to be some healing first in order for you to be emotionally and mentally present to nurture the new relationship. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair for the new person. Take all the time you need, but you also have to disclose that up front with the new person. That's the only fair thing to do. So that's what I mean by opening yourself up a little bit more on the emotional front. Explain to them what you're going through, and, just to see if they can compromise with you, if you can take this slow, or if you can start dating at a later date if you're not emotionally ready yet, okay? In terms of what's in your hopes and fears, we have the Six of Pentacles. And this is definitely getting a helping hand, getting a financial windfall. You're hoping for a helping hand in the relationship. You're hoping for a relationship that is built on a little bit more of an equal footing and also on a more balanced scale. Okay, in the past, if you've been putting in a lot of the work and the other person reneged on their promises, on their obligation and responsibilities in the relationship, you're hoping this new relationship where you are very like-minded, that you can merge together and work together so that you're not constantly putting in all the work and they're reaping all the rewards. So you're afraid of that and you want something a little bit more balanced. In terms of your external environment here and what's coming through for you as the outcome. The outcome here with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of being on the defense, being really hurt in the past, and being on guard when new relationships try to cycle in or new people try to come into your life. Okay, so once again, I am seeing this as Saturn is in your sign, transiting your sign. Saturn brings in a lot more emotionally mature, stable people. They're bringing in karmic relationships as well, a new phase in a karmic relationship. And you're going to encounter people who have been through similar life experiences, but they don't let they aren't jaded by, the hardships they've endured in life. They became stronger and wiser as a result of it. You yourself are going through a very similar phase where whatever pain and hurts and disappointment and betrayal and deceptions and, whatever that has hurt you in the past, it made you a lot stronger. And in the process, you're not walling yourself off. You're letting your defenses down, and you're going to realize, or you're telling yourself that I'm not going to hold myself hostage to my past. I'm going to advance forward and live my life. Okay, so this is a very strong fire energy. Okay, with the Nine of Wands reverse. It indicates to me you're breaking down your walls and you're letting people in, and a lot of it has to do with this new love relationship with the Ace of Cups here. You're feeling quite good about yourself, and you're feeling quite good about the trajectory of your life. In terms of finances, financial hardships are definitely behind you with the Five of Pentacles. So I do feel the future looks very promising and very financially, emotionally stable. The only advice I would warn about is the Eight of Wands in the reverse position. So for example, if you are, if you've gotten out of a bad relationship, for example, and you're starting to date again, I do feel a lot of you are dating, and you're starting to find that a lot of people are attracted to you, mainly because you have a lot to offer. You've been through a lot. You have life experiences and maturity and, emotional, emotional maturity. It goes a long way in love relationships. A lot of people are looking for love online, and, they're doing social dating, and they're trying to screen out people. And when you have a lot of life experiences, it shows through your conversation, through your interactions with another person. They can gauge how serious you are. They can also gauge they can gauge your intentions, pretty much. So the point here is that if you're in the beginning of a relationship, for example, if you're in the beginning of the courtship stage, if you're dating and you're trying to figure things out, don't be hasty, okay? Give people a chance. Give people a chance. So for example, if someone seems a little bit young-minded, you don't know where they've been. Give them a chance. Don't be too quick to judge with this Eight of Wands, and cut off communication. Just give everybody a chance, okay? At the same time, if you've been if you started dating and you get if you text somebody or if you email or call somebody and you don't get an immediate response within the next few hours, don't be hasty about it. People are going through a lot of, everyone is going through their own things in life, okay? So keep that in mind. So if you don't get a response within like, 2, 3, 4 days, don't scrap them out. Don't rule them out just yet. So be patient. Be patient. I know you don't have time for the BS, and you want people who are serious candidates on the love front. But you also have to be patient and know that, it's the end of the year. Probably a lot of quarterly reports are due, so people are just super busy. So don't be too impatient and rule them out just because you're concerned about just because like you're new to this dating thing, and you feel like you're putting yourself out there, and just because they don't contact you right away, you retreat back into your self protective phase. Okay, so don't be too premature when it comes to judging and gauging the prospects. Have an open mind and be patient when it comes to this new venture that you're undertaking, okay? So finances looks very good. I do feel that things will improve for you, all right? So Sagittarius, if you'd like a private reading, please send me an email, temperatestar@gmail.com. I do hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. One other thing, I do feel it would be fun, like I use these cards mainly for divination, but what I've been doing with the first few videos is like to pinpoint costume ideas, and this showing up very, very strongly, so possibly an astronaut would be a good costume idea. There's also this other one that popped out at me. This is mainly, I guess, I don't really know the time period, but it's one of those cigarette girls from the bar clubs. I guess it would be like the 20s or the 30s. They wear those top hats, and they wear the skimpy outfit with the cigarette trays. So I thought it would be fun. So I've been doing that for the other signs. And if you are at a loss for costume ideas, this would be a fun spread to use.